Good evening and welcome to your Monday, September 30th, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Despite shutdown of FPSOS, Guyana records 663,000 barrels of oil per day in August 2024. Africanized bees disrupt classes at New Amsterdam Secondary. North RUIMVELDT apartment building goes up in flames. 7 homeless after West Berbice fire. An MOE'S Spanglish competition aims to promote bilingualism in schools. Now for the news in detail. Despite the temporary shutdowns of the Liza Destiny and Unity floating production, storage, and offloading vessels, the production of over 660,000 barrels of oil per day was still recorded at the end of August 2024. Here are the details from Gerald Bryan.
According to data released by the Ministry of Natural Resources, Guyana recorded a total of 663,000 barrels of oil per day for the month of August. These figures come from the 3 floating production, storage, and offloading FPSO vessels currently operating in the Stabroek Block. For instance, the Liza Destiny FPSO produced 160,300 barrels of oil per day from the Liza Phase 1 project. Meanwhile, the Liza Unity FPSO produced approximately 248,170 barrels of oil per day from the Liza Phase 2 project. Finally, the Prosperity FPSO produced 255,420 barrels of oil per day from the Payara project as of August 30th, 2024. These figures come following the shutdown of the Destiny and Unity FPSOs between July and August to facilitate the integration of the vessels with the gas-to-energy project. Earlier this year, Exxon Guyana President Alistair Routledge had said that during the shutdown, the company would also do debottlenecking activities on the Unity FPSO. This, according to Routledge, would include modifications to allow the vessel to produce above 250,000 barrels of oil per day. For the first half of 2024, Guyana had produced 113.5 million barrels of oil. Further, it is expected that production will cross the 220 million barrel threshold by year-end. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Classes at the New Amsterdam Multilateral School were disrupted today as authorities moved to terminate a colony of Africanized bees from the institution. Andrew Carmichael reports that it was the second colony to have moved into the school within days.
On Monday afternoon, classes at the New Amsterdam Multilateral School were disrupted by Africanized bees. The bees are said to have taken up residency within the ceiling of one of the classrooms on the second floor of the main building sometime over the weekend. When students went to school on Monday, some of them reported seeing bees flying. As a result, a contractor was called in by the Education Ministry. The Evening News understands that a contractor was engaged in terminating the bees, but some would have escaped. However, after the terminator left, bees began assembling in the classroom. After this was reported, a team from the Guyana Livestock Development Authority, GLDA, was called in and the remaining bees were terminated. Normally, the Agriculture Ministry through the GLDA would execute such works, but on Monday a private contractor who the regional administration has engaged in the past was initially contracted and sought to get the job done. Meanwhile, last Friday a team from the GLDA was also called into the school to address a similar issue. Bees had built a colony under the floor of one of the classrooms, also on the second floor. That hive was extracted and the bees were taken to a safe location. It is believed that the killer bees would have migrated from an area that was recently cleared of its thick vegetation as part of a developmental project. Classes came to an unscheduled end on Monday as a result of the activity. However, educational officials say the building is now safe for classes to resume tomorrow, Tuesday. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Farmers across Guyana will continue to receive crucial support to sustain their agricultural productivity during the dry season as the National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute, NARI, increases efforts to prevent the reduction of crops on the local market. Details in this Trishel Sobers report.
Aids provided to farmers during the dry season include maintaining water levels in conservancies, distribution of seedlings and planting materials, as well as training for new farmers. This is according to NARI's Chief Executive Officer Jagnarine Singh, who told the Evening News that some 32,000 cash crop farmers have been benefiting from such assistance over the last 2 months. Singh explained that this, in conjunction with preparatory works conducted prior to the dry season, is playing a crucial role in exacerbating challenges related to heat and its impact on agriculture. In fact, he noted that no case of severe damage to farmlands as a result of excess heat have been reported thus far.
We haven't gotten any requests for anything based on heat wave, but we continue to do our work, we continue to monitor, we continue to support farmers wherever necessary. With all the farmers across Guyana, over 32,000 cash crop farmers across the country, we continue to support them.
Moreover, Singh highlighted that Guyana's ability to manage and mitigate the adverse effects associated with the hot climate and farming is testament to the work ongoing in the background to increase a large-scale production to help achieve a 25% reduction in the regional food bill by 2025 and further support the agriculture sector during challenging periods. He emphasized that this is reflecting in the rice sector, which has doubled in yield when compared to 2023 and 2022.
If you call the rice board, I'm not telling you that one. If you call the rice board and find out what is the yield of paddy this crop as against last crop, but they're going to tell you that the yield of paddy this crop is way in excess of last year or last crop because more solar radiation, more you can end up getting more harvest.
In August, the Ministry of Agriculture's Hydromet Service had predicted above average temperatures from September through November 2024, which could exacerbate challenges related to heat and its impact on agriculture, livestock, and public health. Notably, there has been an increase in temperature recorded in Guyana from January to July 2024. Average daytime temperatures across Guyana have consistently exceeded the 32 degrees Celsius historical norm, with some months recording higher temperatures when compared to the same period in 2023, which was a record-breaking year. Trishelle Subbers, Evening News.
While utilizing its seat as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, Guyana made an impassioned call for the Council to take decisive action to end the Israeli-Hamas war. Minister of Foreign Affairs Hugh Todd highlighted the worrying escalation of attacks, not only on civilians but humanitarian personnel and even Palestinian media. Here's a look.
In a few days, it will be 1 year since the Hamas attack on Israel and the brutal war of retaliation on Gaza. This is another year added to the many decades of violence since 1948. Recently, however, there have been some extremely worrying dynamics. I will highlight 3 of them so that we can take cognizance of what they mean for the prospects of achieving a permanent solution, the rule of international law, and the legitimacy of the United Nations. Mr. President, I conclude with 3 appeals. 1, we need an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the release of all hostages and illegally detained Palestinians, and an end to the campaign of violence in the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. We also need a de-escalation of tensions across the region and for all parties, including Israel, to cease their provocative actions. 2, we need concerted international efforts to support of the well-being of the Palestinian people, both in the immediate and long term. This must include action by the Security Council to end the war in Gaza and the heightened violence in the West Bank. It has gone on for too long, far too long, and we must take decisive steps to end it and to secure peace in the region. And thirdly, we need to end this war and make progress towards achieving a 2-state solution. We cannot allow Israel to continue dismantling the 2-state solution. Guyana is committed to doing its part on all of these fronts.
The British Virgin Islands will remove visa restrictions for Guyanese to travel to the islands, becoming the latest in a series of countries that have relaxed travel requirements for locals. The announcement was made by Premier of BVI, Natalio Wheatley, on Monday. During a press conference, Wheatley revealed that not only would visa restrictions be removed for Guyanese looking to travel to his country, but that talks were ongoing towards signing a memorandum of understanding with Guyana. Wheatley went on to laud the work being done by Guyana at the international level to elevate the Caribbean's voice, in particular Guyana's role at the United Nations Security Council and its efforts to pursue sustainable growth were recognized by the Premier. Coming up, woman dies in Rockstone Trail accident and 63-year-old pedal cyclist dies in West Coast Berbice accident. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Oreo and Coca-Cola just became besties. Taste the new limited edition.
In today's tough driving conditions, every engine faces three powerful enemies: engine heat, pollutants, and frequent short trips. Each factor is a direct cause of engine sludge, a buildup of dirt that can block vital oilways. This triple threat demands triple protection. Castrol GTX's Triple Protect Power is engineered to fight these three main causes of engine sludge.
Make your home look great with sash windows from Gaffurs. They're fitted with 4mm thick glass, with a male and female frame that's easy to join. Comes with a built-in mosquito screen. You can adjust the opening for ventilation to suit yourself. And it has a safety locking mechanism too. Yes, Gaffurs sash windows not only look good, they've got all the great features that make them the best design in windows anywhere. Get Gaffurs sash windows for the perfect fit and finish for your home from the MacDoom Megastore and Gaffurs outlets at Parika, Means, Land of Canaan, Rose Hall, Beatty, Kanji and Diamond. Call 223-9896 for more information anytime. Gaffurs, the name you can trust.
Oreo and Coca-Cola just became besties. Taste the new limited edition.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A woman is now dead while another person is seriously injured following a car crash along the Rockstone Trail on Sunday afternoon. Dead is 38-year-old Julie Higgins of One Coker Squatting Area, Wismer, Linden, while the injured person is Kenrick Johnson of Central Amelia's Ward, Linden, who was the driver of the motorcar PJJ 9024. Higgins, who was the lone passenger in the vehicle, was thrown out of the vehicle during the accident. Police said the vehicle was traveling along the trail at a fast rate when the driver lost control, causing the car to topple several times. After the crash, both the driver and occupant were assisted by public-spirited persons and taken to the Linden Hospital complex. Higgins was pronounced dead on arrival, while the driver remained for observation due to injuries to his left shoulder and body pains. A breathalyzer test conducted on the driver showed no trace of alcohol. Nevertheless, he remains in police custody, assisting with the ongoing investigation. Our Berbice correspondent, Andrew Carmichael, now joins us to report that a pedal cyclist is now dead after he was hit by a car along the number 28 Village Public Road, West Coast, Berbice. Here's that story.
The incident occurred at Trafalgar, popularly known as number 28 Village, West Coast, Berbice in Region 5 on Saturday afternoon, and claimed the life of 63-year-old Stanford Benjamin of the said village. Reports are that Benjamin was riding his bicycle when he was hit by a car, PZZ 7256. The police said the driver was a 65-year-old man from New Amsterdam in Region 6. According to the police, Benjamin was proceeding west along the southern side of the road and the car was proceeding in the same direction behind him. Police said that the driver is alleging that as he was passing the cyclist, Benjamin suddenly swerved into the part of the vehicle which caused the front of the car to collide with him. As a result of the collision, Benjamin received injuries and fell onto the roadway. He was picked up in an unconscious condition and taken to the Fort Wellington Hospital, where he passed away while receiving medical attention. The now dead man's nephew, Devon Garrett, said he was on his way home from the city when he received a telephone call informing him that his uncle was involved in an accident. However, he was told that everything was going to be all right.
But then after, I received a call like 20 minutes after that he didn't make it, he died. But I was told that, well, he had a hard hit. He had a hard hit and he had a fractured neck. And he was unconscious when he was at the hospital.
Benjamin had gone to visit his eldest sister in the same village and had left her house to purchase something to eat and to return to his sister's house before going to work.
I guess in the process of crossing the road, I don't know what transpired. Here's where you get it done. I don't know if when he was crossing or he was at the corner, I didn't know what transpired.
The father of two lived alone and worked as a security guard.
A driver will just pick up his car and drive and say, I'm going on the road and knock down somebody. It's an accident, right? And at this point in time, remember the wound is not healed at this point in time. So at this point in time, I can't say, well, what we really want at this point in time. But it's an accident.
The driver was taken into custody. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
7 persons, including children, are now homeless after a fire destroyed their West Coast Berbice home late Saturday afternoon. Here's our Berbice correspondent, Andrew Carmichael, again with the details.
The Saturday afternoon blaze at West Coast Berbice Region 5 destroyed a wood and concrete 2-flat building with 5 bedrooms. Officials say the fire was caused by a child playing with matches. The incident occurred just after 17 hours at the lot 115 McCalman Street, number 22 Bellear residence. The 2-story concrete and wooden building was occupied by Lawanda McBlackman and 6 other relatives. One of them, Chanel Jansen, who operates a hair salon at the premises, related that she had just returned home and went into the salon where a client was waiting. Shortly after, the woman recalled hearing shouts of fire.
And then I start washing her hair, and while at the sink washing her hair, I hear like a little explosion, like right, because at the back there, they had the salon right at the back door, like up top of my head, I hear like an explosion, like it wasn't loud. The second one was more louder. So then I left what I was doing and then I ran upstairs, and when I was coming around there, I heard the boys by the shop saying fire. Make sure you cut off the main switch. So I run inside, the main switch was right at this side there. So I make sure I cut off the main switch, and then I went upstairs to see what was going on. And when I reached at the front of the house, on the left hand corner where the wire coming from the poles, fire was already in the room. And by the stabilizer was right on this side. And then I hear like a big explosion again. And then after that, I just came down. I run downstairs back. And them other boys was coming with water and so we tried to out the fire.
At the time, according to Janssen, her sister and boyfriend were in the back washing, while her 9-year-old son and his friend was in a room on the lower flat watching television.
They were in the room watching TV. I didn't have any conversation with them. It was just they watching TV. Downstairs in my son's room, we lose everything. We lose quite a few stuff. Bed, everything in the front room damaged. Bed, the wardrobe.
Meanwhile, on Sunday, villagers and other family members were engaged in a cleanup exercise. The family is hoping for some external assistance. They can be contacted on telephone number 665-9839. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Several persons are now displaced after a fire destroyed an apartment building at North RUIMVELDT, Georgetown. Kelroy Williams visited the scene and filed this report.
Approximately 10 persons who were living in an apartment complex located in North RUIMVELDT, Georgetown, are now homeless after a fire on Monday afternoon destroyed the building. At the scene, the Evening News spoke with one of the tenants who was at home at the time of the blaze.
I just smell smoke. I live in the second half on the upstairs. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, and the fire was seeping through. The smoke was seeping through by the sink. So I automatically knew that it was coming from the opposite side. It wasn't on the second half.
The man lamented that the fire service took about 50 minutes after he would have contacted them to arrive at the scene.
What is sad about this whole thing is we wait at least approximately 20 minutes for the fire service to come. From the initial call, we waited at least 20 minutes for the fire service to come. When they came, the fire truck that's right there, they came and they had enough, probably about 2 buckets of water in the truck. So as soon as they cut on the hose, a little bit of water shoot out, and that was it. They had no water.
Meanwhile, several of the tenants expressed concern about the lack of empathy reportedly shown by the landlord.
He care about the apartment and fire. He care about people now we come for ask for rent. He business about people they get children in it, so.
It is suspected that the fire started as a result of children playing with matches, but this is still being investigated. Kelroy Williams, The Evening News.
A house located at Buxton on the east coast of Demerara was this afternoon destroyed by fire. The Evening News understands that the house belonged to a woman named Miss Velma who recently buried her son. Residents of the community have expressed dissatisfaction with the slow response from the fire service. Up to news time, no other information on the incident became available. We now tell you that children from across the country today showcased their bilingual skills in the annual Spanglish competition hosted by the Education Ministry. This event aims to enhance proficiency in both English and Spanish through engaging in friendly competition. Michael Henry tells us more.
In celebration of inclusivity and recognition of the linguistic practices of students, the Education Ministry on Monday hosted its 3rd annual Spanglish Bee organized by the Migrant Unit. This event took place at the NCERD boardroom in Kingston, Georgetown. Chief Education Officer Saddam Hussein, while speaking at the event, emphasized that Guyana stands out as a nation committed to inclusivity for migrants.
We are in our 3rd year now for the Spanglish, the spelling bee competition. During the holiday, there was a camp, there was a summer camp that they had as well. So a number of activities are being organized. The Ministry of Education is very happy to note that we are one of the few countries across the Caribbean where there is a separate unit to manage matters having to do with migrants. There has been significant work done, of course headed by Ms. Bisnat.
The teams competing in this year's competition are grade 3 students from Georgetown, Region 3, Region 4, Region 5, and Region 7. The winning team will receive monetary prize.
What we are going to do from my office, from the office of the Chief Education Officer, we are going to sweeten the pot a little bit, and we will add a cash prize for the first and also for the second. And this will be an ongoing, whenever you have this competition, this will be an ongoing prize. I will send across the cash prize shortly.
Meanwhile, Assistant Chief Education Officer Renita Barnes relayed that this competition also seeks to enhance the knowledge of culture from both sides.
The ministry also recognizes that the ability to seamlessly navigate between two languages is a remarkable cognitive and social skill that must be nurtured and celebrated. And I believe that is what we are geared to do today, to celebrate those two languages. The competition today provides a platform for our students to showcase their proficiency in both Spanish and English, as well as your deep understanding of the cultural nuances that intertwine these two vibrant languages.
This year's winner is Region 3, while Region 4 came in second place. Last year, Region 3 won the competition. In 2022, Region 4 had emerged as the winner. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, October 1, 2024 at 3 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 15 hours 55 on Tuesday, October 1, 2024, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Top 4 captains optimistic ahead of CPL playoffs, and Windies women suffer 20-run defeat to India in warm-ups. These stories and more coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
I am Bernard, and this is MacCorp Rental. Call me on 622-4037. MacCorp, let's do the work.
Gold mining can be expensive if you don't have the right tools. Mining requires engines that can pump high volumes of water and slurry, the most tried and tested of which are Doots engines. Doots engines are among the most reliable in the world. Where can you get them? At your #1 industrial solutions provider, Sylvies. We have them in 2 to 6 cylinders, ranging from 23 horsepower to 80 horsepower. Most miners use Doots engines because they're lightweight, use less fuel, and require less maintenance because they are air-cooled. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvies Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site RUIMVELDT.
RUI became besties. Taste the new limited edition.
At Gaffur's, we have the locks to keep your home and family safe from intruders. Get security with Toledo and Dura door locks, made in the USA and Canada. They fit most doors 1 3/8 to 1 3/4 inch thick, with a 2 3/8 to 2 3/4 inch back set. Gaffur's also has the popular Yale brand, with competitive prices in various styles and finishes. You can also get weatherproof padlocks by Yale and Toledo in sizes 30mm to 70mm. So get top brand, durable and affordable locks to keep you safe day and night from Gaffur's MacDoom Mega Complex and outlets at Parika, Neves, Land of Canaan, Bedawawacting, Rose Hall, Kanji and Diamond. Gaffur's, the name you can trust.
Oreo and Coca-Cola just became besties. Taste the new limited editions.